right?
Right.
But like, could you ban another announcer if you let him sing and someone else sings and you hate it? Like, I get why they kind of do it, but
yeah, it's like I think it's for exactly that reason, but whatever.
I don't even care if this is evil.
I mean, if it's evil, it's probably more of an advantage for us.
Yeah.
The longer we have to milk our execution advantage, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, I did 2 practice seats today. One was one I last located the hook shot in the front of Skullwoods. To my last located fire.
Well, this is interesting. Hi, everybody.
Front of Swamp, so I didn't last locate the hook shot, but
We're gonna have some interesting things with commentary today.
I felt like I executed pretty well.
So, for those who are wondering what you're hearing, I believe that we are hearing our good friend Megawatt there, who is doing the piloting today in this Week 6 spoiler log co-pilot Key Sanity for Frostbite. So we'll try to get that all settled here in just a moment. Sorry about that. But yeah, welcome to Week 6 here of ALTTPR League Season 2. I'm Neon Tiger, and I am being joined by the one and only Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Tuna, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I was not anticipating a 4-man commentator around today, but this will be very interesting.
Oh baby! All right, we got Pendants, Eastern
sometimes
Swamp,
these things happen.
Town,
and of course, on the other side here, we have Beard Force 1. DoctorBobtastic running.
Bombs
just to give a very quick overview here of where everyone stands. Finjana Drifters, Pyramid Power Division, they're tied for first at 9-1. They've got a playoff spot locked down.
Mushroom is
Beard Force 1, 12 points, 4 and 6. Still chasing down a playoff spot.
Just go get the bush crab.
Got a bit of a gap to make up here. They've really got to perform well in these last 2 weeks. And tracking and piloting for DoctorBobtastic will be unknown availability.
Where's Swamp? No, we don't.
Okay, I'm just gonna get the bush crab and head towards the CAC, I guess.
Alright. And in Kakariko we have...
apologies for that, yeah, we're still trying to get everything squared away here with
bombs and a heart piece in
with the audio.
That's probably
bleed over from the Discord.
Just
so
stock up on
gonna need that.
Yeah, we'll try and do our best here to commentate around it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like phased by that fun little bit at the beginning.
There we go. I think we're better now. But yeah, this is a very important match for both teams. Obviously tied for first. Finjana Drifters really want to break that tie and get away here. We're seeing a double Houlihan looks like to start. So yeah, Frostbite wants to pick up the win just to further secure a #1 seed out of the Pyramid Power Division. DoctorBobtastic hoping to get Beard Force 1 off on the right foot here. And we've got, it looks like a flute at Link's house.
And I think Frostbite's just collecting stuff to go ahead and give Megawatt a little bit of extra time, but those are getting some important keys out of the back there.
Yeah, very important keys there. Looks like he missed the chest, though.
My guess is that it was probably a map compass.
Probably, yeah. That's good. That's a good point, because remember, it's his spoiler log, so they have an idea of what they need to go and get. And we're seeing a bit of difference here with the divergence. Ooh.
Sword on Uncle. That is awesome. Oh my. Okay, either they're farming up some safety money or Zora's got something.
Could be interesting. This is very interesting, as a matter of fact.
That was our 3rd sword. Holy cow.
You're telling me? This is super quick already. Wow. But yeah, one of the interesting things I think here with the seed is got the same spoiler log for both runners, but they may interpret it differently. You're not necessarily going to see one person going one way and one person going the other way. So this will be very interesting to see what our divergence paths are.
It's honestly why I love the spoiler log races, and particularly the co-op this week, because you really get a huge variety of how these runners think. You know, it's what's easier, getting all of the, like, you know, hearts and blue mail and sword survivability first, or, you know, is your runner confident in staying low percent and just trying to not double dip certain areas? Very intriguing.
Yeah, this is. I'm always interested to see what each team or maybe even each runner individually likes to prioritize from the get go here. So obviously we see both runners now have the flute, so I get the feeling that's going to be a, if not necessary item, it'll be one that helps them move around a lot quicker.
I know I wasn't gonna do this because I hate spoiling myself, but I had to open up the log. I just had to see what kind of nonsense was here. I'm not gonna say anything because I really don't want to spoil it for you guys.
Good.
But
I kind of. Oh boy. Yeah, I kind of want to go with the flow here. Just not because I'm like anti-spoiler, but because I always like to be a little surprised and get an idea of what each runner is thinking.
This seed will be worth it.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a progressive glove over an Ice Rod Cave. That is nice.
That's an nice early pickup here for Frostbite. Obviously, opens up a little bit of the map here. Got some extra locations you can probably check. And now we're seeing him go over the mini World Dome Cave. There's Ether. There's a Book of Medora. Big 50. So yeah, there must be something good in here at some point.
And a map!
Same quit from Dr. Bob.
Now, I'm kind of wondering if the money that Dr. Bob is picking up is just for convenience sake, because having Frostbite get virtually no money so far, I'm thinking either late Zora or no Zora at all. I haven't checked that part in the log yet, so I'm not actually playing coy.
Indeed. One of the interesting things to keep in mind here is that our pilots here, unknown availability for Dr. Bob and Megawatt for Fendrana Drifters and Frostbite, they don't get the logs ahead of time. They don't get the logs before the race starts. So they're routing on the fly here. They're looking through it, trying to parse this out, like as they're going along here. So you kind of have to have an idea of what you want to look for, and from there you really need to go ahead and kind of figure out what you want to do from the get-go. Yeah, if there's, say you see, hey, there's a bow locked behind this thing, you're kind of having to figure out, okay, where do I go to get this, and what do I need to get that item, and then from there, you kind of have to work your way back in real time. It's very, very, very interesting here. Ooh, yes, hookshot showing up there for DoctorBobtastic in Desert Palace. Frostbite going to the back here.
I'm glad Frostbite is going into the back here. And
it's still the key. Yes. Yes. Stole a key.
Yeah, this is one of the fun things that you don't really see often outside of cross keys. And apparently in this case, we're going to see it in the spoiler log race. But stealing that key is kind of a good thing, because if there's nothing actually necessary on the boss in most cases, you don't have to worry about it. But in this scenario, we will, of course, need to finish Desert. Apparently, there's just something far more important on the right side that he wants to get right now.
Well, this will be very interesting, yeah. And Bob's about to get that third sword. So, very interesting decision here. Obviously, Frostbite doesn't have it because Frostbite hasn't been to Uncle yet. Let's see what's on the right side. It's so important. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's pretty important.
Yep. And hopefully Megawatt's kind and tells him to head back to the torch, because we're about to see something really cool.
Oh, goodness. Is an item that's boots locked on the torch that's important? Oh, my goodness.
There is.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I was kidding earlier in IRC when I said, I hope it's not evil, wink wink. But now I kind of wish I was kidding, because, yeah.
Well, what do we have here?
A wonderful convenience item, not necessarily needed unless the fire rod happens to be fire locked.
Yep. Or unless you have to go to Aga.
Oh, yeah, that too. Because, I don't know, with Tempered and Lamp, this may actually be an Aga seed.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. You get the lamp and you've got the Master Sword already, so it's not without the realm of outside the realm of possibility here that there could be a requirement to get to Aga, because there could be items that would give you Dark World access locked behind Aga access. Could be the Moon Pearl on the pyramids, an old favorite for that. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm thinking there is actually something in the castle tower. I, again, have not looked at this part. So, seeing that one castle tower key, I'm thinking there's going to be something important in it. Until we see that second castle tower key, though, I don't think it's actually going to be required.
Well, there's the flippy floppies in Paradox Cave for Frostbite.
Ooh. Those are always appreciated. Well, Frostbite doesn't have to worry about that desert key he stole, because there it is.
Hello. Ooh, there's a big key there as well. It's the Thief's Town big key.
Dang, Paradox was loaded. Really nice routing so far with Megawatt and Frostbite. Kudos to them.
Yeah, they've got some really efficient routing going here. Mr. Scruffniff, Ninja Tuna. Gosh, there's so many. It's like four nouns in your name, so occasionally I'll mix them up.
It's alright, Scruff is fine.
Scruff, alright. I always forget should I call you Scruff or Ninja or Tuna or Ninja Tuna? But Scruff's good. Alright, cool. But yeah, Scruff, with the really efficient routing here, just a little bit of an advantage right now for Frostbite having those boots, but it will really just come down to, the ability of the co-pilots here to really be able to read through the spoiler log and direct their runners in the right direction. So it certainly might look like it's an early lead here for Frostbite with those boots, and he may definitely have an advantage, but it's not certainly not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh no, not at all. And I just want to point out, or at least stress at this point, that piloting is exceptionally difficult. I mean, we don't see it because we don't hear them. We heard a little bit. But they go through so much during just the first few minutes of trying to figure out exactly what to do, what the best route is for these guys, and then syncing up with the runner to figure out, okay, what is good for my runner? What can they do? Ooh, okay, that was the second castle tower key.
Right. And this requires a lot of knowledge of the map of access. Be able. Okay, how do I get to point A? To get this. What do I need to get to it? And as far as those requirements go, when you're looking through the spoiler log, okay, now where are those requirement items at? Are they somewhere that I can get to? Are they somewhere that my runner can get to? Or are we going to have to put this off for a while and then go to Plan B or Plan C at this point?
Yep. And thankfully, Frostbite's actually doing something that's also another really cool thing. Most pilots have to sit and think, okay, what can my runner do? What type of glitches can they go and perform so I can skip essential items?
Yes, exactly. And we're seeing, of course, the Hera pot there from Frostbite. Very nicely done. Getting into the pot with the bombs, set them up on the right pixel, the hook shot, and then he's going to head upstairs to take care of our good friend Moldorm.
I gotta learn the left-sided setup to that. I always try and do the right, and it's always a hit or a miss, but looks like they get it every time. It's so nice.
Yeah, there's a couple different setups to that I've seen so far, but it's really nice when it's executed. And down goes Moldorm. Let's see what their friend is holding. Just a compass. You gotta pick that up to get the crystal, though. So nicely done.
So that's first boss out of the way. I figure once we find that Desert Palace big key, we'll be able to get that second. But with 2 Castle Tower keys, 3 swords in play, and a lamp, I am fairly certain this is going to be ag required now. So,
Yep.
Where is that Moon Pearl?
I'm gonna say, Scruff. I'm gonna say it's up on top of the pyramid because I feel I feel like that's a really common occurrence. Like you immediately get warped to the dark world, and then your pearl's right there. That seems to happen an exceptionally large amount of times, or it's some item that leads immediately to the pearl, because obviously you've got to have that to really be able to make progress in the dark world.
I would like that. We've already got the flute. It'd be great if we had a progressive glove on there, which then leads us over to checkerboard, because we got the mirror too. Oh, well, he's going straight to... Wait, is he going to go to the Aghanim? Yep, he's going straight to Aghanim, not even bothering with the front of escape. So yeah, I think you're right. I think we're either going to find something on Pyramid, or we're going to find something that leads us to the Moon Pearl. And thankfully, Tempered is going to make this a breeze. Sword Spin takes care of those big old chain dudes, and one good setup there is perfect. Only 100 rupees in the first one, but hey, that's convenience. Ooh, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, let's see what's the second one. There it is.
Oh.
Very nice, very nice.
Indeed. Okay, yeah, and this cinches it. This is ag required. I'm betting the hammer or the other glove or lock somewhere. Oh, that's the Desert Palace big key!
Ooh!
So desert is full clearable as of right now, and that's a 100% within logic. Nice.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, Bob's gonna go back there. So I like this play from Bob. Actually, I'm finding that Desert Palace big keys. That's for unknown availability. That's a really nice decision that was made there to direct Bob away from Desert Palace. Now I just can go back and get those boots and get the torch and be able to clear this dungeon out. So we'll be able to pick up an additional crystal that Frostbite will get eventually, but will be a little bit more delayed on the return there.
And I do kind of like this setup too, because he doesn't have to worry about stealing it. Yeah, he technically lost a little bit of time doing the mountain stuff versus what Frostbite did with the boots, but he doesn't have to double dip this, like you said. I think this may have actually been the better route with DoctorBobtastic and Unknown going just with a single dip to get everything they need.
Great. Of course, this will actually be technically a double dip. We did get the hook shot earlier from here. But yeah, Frostbite's going to be a triple dip into here, so to speak. Actually, no, Frostbite came in here once and got all that stuff, so that'll just be a double for them. But it's gonna be very interesting to see when Frostbite goes back and clears this out. Maybe let's see, we got pendant, so that would have to be crystal. So maybe back to back with Misery Mire.
That sounds like a good idea. That would actually be a good bit of routing too.
Yeah. This is really kind of tricky because, yeah, we were talking about routing items here, figuring out what dungeons you're going to go into, and minimizing the number of times you have to go into a dungeon. It's really efficient to try and do that during like regular play, but when you've got a spoiler log, you really need to make sure you know what you're getting out of a dungeon and getting as much as you can out of there in one go and not having to go in there 2 or 3 times if you don't have to.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the main thing. You can, like, as far as the runner is concerned, execution is their main thing, but
yes,
for the pilot, it's all about that routing. The fewer the double dips possible, the better.
Yeah, because some of these dungeons, double dipping, you have to go pretty much all the way through them again. It's I would say mildly inconvenient, but I feel like that would be selling it short. For example, having to go through the front half of Turtle Rock again after you've already done it once is not terrible, but it can take a while. That's just time and you're burning.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I think either we're seeing a trip across the lake, or river in this case, to Village of Outcasts, or yep, we're going that way.
Yep, there's
Dang,
the
I was
hook
hoping
shot.
for catfish.
Now that would be interesting here, because that would mean that Frostbite could go get that big key and get an additional check-in with the mirror being able to mirror back across and go immediately over to Waterfall Cave and Zora if need be. He's going to King's Tomb, so
Yeah, that is intriguing. I wonder what's here.
yeah, just a heart. But
Hey,
at this point, with only
convenience.
5 hearts, not a bad decision, 5 hearts, Green Mail, Dark World. You may as well go and grab hearts along the way. It'll cost you a little bit of time to do that, but it's a massive safety, and really just reduces the risk of getting killed here and having to start a dungeon over.
Very true. Ooh, looks like we're also going to get a Bonk Rocks check.
Yep.
See if there's going to be convenience or required. Call up.
That was funky.
Now that I find super intriguing too, because that being the one dungeon with the most small keys, in some weird situations, you've seen some spoiler logs where they have to full clear pod, and if you do that, you can do it with just 4 keys if you know the hammer yump. But the nice thing is if you're blessed with this seed, you can get through it with 1 or 2.
Oh, hello.
What's that lumberjack that we're getting at?
This may have been anger required for more than one reason. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely more than one reason right there. It's kind of a big reason.
I was kind of thinking that I didn't really say it out loud. I feel like I should have said it out loud now, because now I would seem super smart. But, I was thinking like the other reason it could be anger required is something on Lumberjack Ledge, and I was trying to remember if we'd even seen that peaked at. And I'm like, I don't think we have. Maybe there is something of value up there. And yeah, that is definitely a value item.
Definitely. Oh, man. Well, looks like we got a save and quit on Dr. Bob's side. It looks like he was about to climb up to check out Tower of Hera, but then just stopped. Looks like he's being forced somewhere else right now.
Back up, escape. Yep. And what's interesting here is really when you take a look at the where these runners are going, you get an idea of where their pilots are kind of like reading through the spoiler log.
Yeah, just to kind of get an idea. Ooh, Turtle Rock Big Key in the back. Nice. Okay, so we got our Turtle Rock Big Key out of the way, and it looks like Frostbite got a hammer out of chess game. Small key to Turtle Rock. Not bad.
Not bad at all. So I feel like as a pilot, I don't know, maybe I've not done this before. Obviously, I'm not taking part in the league, but other than commentary. But I feel like for this kind of thing with the co-pilot, you really want to be able to start to piece things ahead a little bit and give your runner like, okay, hey, go here, go here, go here. And while you're doing that, you don't have to actually say this. While they're doing that, go ahead and start reading through and try to figure out, okay, what's my next step after this? Where do I take my runner next? And trying to kind of like pierce through all of us to figure out what dungeon do I go into next? What locations do I need to send them to next? And trying to get ahead of the curve rather than staying right on the edge the whole time.
I gotta agree. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed when it comes to piloting, and which is why in the league I am not going to be a pilot. I tried it once during practice, and I freaking had a nervous breakdown. I still have no idea how my teammate does it. She's just freaking amazing.
Yeah, it can be very difficult, and like you said, Scruff, it's not necessarily something that everyone can do. I think everyone's capable of doing it, but there's just a lot of pressure and stuff, and it can be a lot to take in here. So, it's always very interesting to see who these teams decide to send out to pilot. And sometimes I've seen some of the teams on the schedule have the same runner pilot for both same pilot for both runners. So they've just kind of decided, hey, you two are running this, and I'll pilot for both of you because I feel comfortable enough to do it.
Exactly. And I think you didn't hit the nail right on the head there. Everyone can do it. I mean, it's just reading a piece of paper, but not everyone can do it well. And that's the main thing.
Right. Well, it's reading a piece of paper, being able to parse through it, and then in real time piece everything back together here in the correct order that needs to be done. So you're like, you have a bunch of clues, and I need to put all the clues together and do it like as quickly as possible without messing up.
Yeah, that's a really good look at it. It is like a big puzzle piece.
It's like an escape room, but you're not actually in the room. You're just helping somebody else go through the room, and there's a timer on the wall, and you're just trying to be like, okay, I gotta get them through this room in 45 minutes, or the gas will be released from the ceiling vents, and they'll be in trouble.
I saw someone in the Discord put it like this, saying that this is just a very intriguing game of what was it, that the one where you play VR and you're defusing a bomb.
Keep talking and no one. That's perfect explanation for this. It's keep talking and no one explodes, but like everything changes and there's not like set pattern.
Exactly. Now this is another intriguing one. Frostbite's in Eastern, and looks like he's heading over to the compass chest. I wonder what's here. Let me scroll up real quick. Oh, that's the map chest. That explains it.
Nice.
Very nice. And I'm kind of... Oh, that's the reason why they did the little double. That's another thing that's really, really annoying for me, is that I don't know a lot of the vanilla locations of these items. So if you're told, go to the compass chest in a dungeon, good luck. But it will be intriguing to see if Dr. Bob goes back to both those chests in Eastern, because I know what was in that compass chest, and Bob may need it. Although now it's time for some awesome dipping of pod. Now this too is really intriguing, because as you guys notice, he's only got 2 pod small keys, and he doesn't have a bow or any liquid to do the bow lock side.
Mm-hmm.
So just dipping in and out for that swamp small key. Oh no, he's going back in.
Yep. Got that half magic as well. Not required. It's a nice utility item to have. And Bob going back to the light world here with the duck. Where are we going? He's going to get a... No, he's not. Oh, he's going to Lumberjack Lodge. He's going to get the second progressive level Titan's Mitt.
Yep. I figure he's going to be grabbing his hammer shortly after. And here's my wonderful, most favorite glitch that I can't do.
Yeah, and Frostbite realizing that, this wasn't going to work, and the floor is collapsing, so I'm just going to reset. And that's fine. This is a pretty difficult thing at first to learn how to do. I haven't learned how to do it quite so much yet. It's basically, for those wondering what the hammer jump is, you're essentially a pixel perfect jump to get onto the, I guess you could call it the railing there. We'll see it. Oh no!
Oh, that sucks.
He had it lined up, but the floor just fell out from under him. Yeah, what you're doing is you're lining up. If you see that bottom kind of that ledge there, railing, you're trying to clip into that. And then once you do that with the iframes, you can go ahead and there we go. And it'll just nicely put you right here. Saves you a key.
Now this is also fun routing because if the pod keys that you're wanting are way out of the way, then oh boy.
Well, hello. There's the big key for this dungeon and Dark Maze. So that's
that is
that's
fun.
smart. Yeah, that's a smart play though, because I'll save him a key so he doesn't have to. He only needs one to get to the back for get the Helmasaur King. So that will save one. And we can go talk this. Not gonna talk to Sasrilla, but we're gonna see what's in the closet tonight, and it's gonna be which chest we can open. Fire rod in the right chest.
Ooh, yay, that's nice.
Yep.
And now I go see what he missed. Oh, nothing interesting. That's a shame.
Yeah, I feel like if there had actually been anything interesting, we would have seen him pick it up there.
Right.
Yeah, usually if you're reading that, you're reading like if you're reading one item location, I feel like for going to like Hype Cave or something like that, you're going to be reading all of them just to make sure you don't miss anything.
Oh, most definitely. This is kind of intriguing on Dr. Bob's side. We're seeing a much bigger divergence. He's doing the Smith chain.
Yep. Ooh, he's got a bottle. I wonder if he's getting that because he's thinking for pod, like a bigger dive. Because now he's got a bottle. He can do the bottle glitch if he needs to go to the right side.
True. If he gets 2 small keys and does the hammer jump, then he can finish it.
And I mean, taking Smith back home is not necessarily a difficult task to take. Frostbite, meanwhile, does have Ice Rod and Fire Rod now. So both the rods have been found.
Now I'm intrigued. I gotta see where the other pod small keys are. I need to see how mean this is.
Frostbite picking up powder. Ooh. Interesting. Does that mean there's something on Magic Bat? Or is that just a safety play there to have that in case you want to powder some anti-fairies?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I prefer safety overall, but I mean, Frostbite's a much better player than I, so.
Right, and it would make sense too. We've seen Frostbite go ahead and pick up half magic, so Frostbite is certainly Frostbite and Megawatt certainly not averse to picking up a few safeties. We've also seen Frostbite go ahead and pick up a couple extra hearts as well. Just obviously you can see the life difference there. 6 hearts for Bob, and Frostbite's at 8, so a little bit of extra work, and Bob's gonna go get that Fire Rod right now. You know, Frostbite is an Ice Palace. We don't have the Candace Mario, so there will only be no Icebreaker on this dive.
Now, what's really intriguing is I saw that he picked up that Swamp small key. It was looking like he was going to go complete Swamp, but didn't. So I'm like, what do we have in there that's necessary? Because it's a pendant.
Right, or unless unless they thought, I'm going to go to Swamp, and we'll do that, and then Megawatt told them, no, don't do it. There's junk in there. You don't need to go in there, just back out. Oh, and Dr. Bob forgetting something.
Ooh, definitely don't want to forget something. Yeah, he's probably going back for his Fire Rod.
Well, no, not the Fire Rod. He needs Kiki.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kind of need to open that with the monkey.
Yep. Got it all the way there, and why isn't this thing up? Oh yeah, I never opened it with Kiki in the first place. Whoops.
That's a kind of a big oops.
As a pointing out in chat, perhaps they mixed up Skullwoods and Swamp Palace. Yeah, I can see that. I've done that before. Very easy to do that. So perhaps could have mixed them up as one being a pendant dungeon and one being a crystal dungeon in the opposite order that they actually are. So I'm figuring that out. There's the Meyer big key. It's in Ice Palace. But yeah, upon figuring that out, I think probably Frostbite just decided, yeah, can I go to Ice Palace? Yep. Go clear it.
Yeah, I can kind of see some of the problems when it comes to certain routing aspects.
Yep. And I believe my read on Dr. Bob was correct about what the plan is here.
This is going to be intriguing to see how well he can go ahead and pull off that hammer yump.
Yep.
Ooh, he's got to remember to... shoot, he didn't bomb it. Does this work with boots, though? Oh, thank God it does. Whew, I did not realize that worked.
Nice, he got the door open, so he'll be able to check these locations, or... Yeah, he'll still have to go back to the... Oh, he's on 1 heart too, gotta be careful. And Frostbite now dealing with Colt's there, going straight to the bottom here.
Yeah, with half
and
magic and
Colt's there
temper,
down. Yep.
'Tis an easy fight.
Yes, indeed, and we get to see that right side fairy room. We don't get to see that too often. A lot of people usually don't head on over there unless there's a need, and obviously Dr. Bob had a need. Small key to TR.
Ooh, I think that's our 3rd TR small key.
That
so
it is.
as long as there's nothing in the lava chest, they're good for small keys.
Yeah, Dr. Bob will be good for keys here. I'm gonna go ahead and looks like do the wraparound. Take the long way. Frostbite looks like we'll be heading up to get that Desert Palace big key. Probably maybe make a Desert Palace play now.
Well, he's got the Misery Mire big key as well, but it shows that Quake is needed for Misery Mire.
Ooh, yeah, so still needs to find Quake, but maybe just picking that up because it could also be that, you know, it's just far off. You know, you just want to go ahead and pick it up right now. If it's the only item that's up in that corner, then yeah, just go ahead and get it and don't worry about ever going back there. Save yourself some hassle.
Yeah, looks like Bob is actually out of there. So he's not going to do the hammer in for now.
Gonna go ahead and complete as much of Eastern as possible.
Yep, so probably going to dip over and grab that ice rod and see if he goes to the compass chest. Meanwhile, Frostbite making quick work out of that dungeon climb. That's nice.
Very efficient here, yeah. Frostbite doing a really good job.
Yeah, Bob is walking back instead of mirroring, so I'm fairly sure he's going to go ahead and open up that compass chest. You guys will get to see what I have known in this thing, and I will be excited because I've never seen this sprite. And yep, this is the compass chest, and it's armor! Oh, he just turns red. Yeah, that's cute.
It's not necessarily bad for Bob picking that up either, having fewer hearts, you know. It's just nice as an additional safety.
Oh yeah. I mean, seeing as though it's right there, it took him 15 seconds to cross along that little bit. And if you save more time with red armor versus getting like 2 or 3 more boss heart containers, then you're set. You don't have to worry about it.
Yep. Frostbite, meanwhile, heading over just to grab a potion. Maybe heading back into pod himself, and could be a bottle glitch on Frostbite's side as well. Indeed, that does seem to be the play here. It's going to be back in the Palace of Darkness for Frostbite. With that bottle, we'll now be able to go ahead and finish this out.
Yep, I figure he's going to be heading back, I believe, Frostbite still needs that one small key to pod to finish it up, though. I believe he was at 0 when he left. And Megawatt in chat giving us a little bit of insight. Apparently, yeah, he had forgotten that Swamp was a pendant. But that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes, and I like to tease people that do. So you're fine.
Yeah, Megawatt mentioning that the thing that we did see indeed was that third Turtle Rock small key that Bob has picked up already, and Frostbite will be heading over there to grab it as well, needing it to get by just to get through the dungeon, actually.
And that is intriguing. What would be faster in this scenario? Getting the potion and going to the Bowlock side, or just beelining all the way through Swamp to kill Argus? Which one is the better play?
I would say probably. My feelings probably this is. Yeah, I think this is quite a bit quicker. You have a lot of things that you have to flip to get to Argus. A lot of stairs you have to go down. This is just like probably a good minute quicker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and he is out of there. So since he was hunting for that one, I'm betting we're about to see where Arcane is.
Yeah, obviously we need Canis Marid to be able to go into Turtle Rock in the first place. I wonder if it's Hookshot Cave.
Ooh, that's a good question. I love it when you have the key to the dungeon you need being right outside. So like the medallion to open up the Turtle Rock or Mire place, the main item you need to actually finish the dungeon, like hammer or cane. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, Hookshot or Super Bunny would make sense for this play for DoctorBobtastic for the if the Canis Maria is up here. We're seeing Frostbite go to Spike Cave. Ooh.
Ooh, what's Spike Cave? Where is it? Spike Cave. It's not Light World, it's not Death Mountain, it's...
There's a mushroom. There's a cane, but it's not the cane we're looking for. And Frostbite taking a death, but...
He's got that fairy.
Oh, it might. I think it is in Spike Cave, because that's why DoctorBobtastic went and got Canberna. Oh, that's why. That makes so much sense. Yep.
Yep, there it is. See,
yeah, that's kind of the fun thing, is that we're kind of figuring these things out at the same time, Scruff, that the runners are getting him, so we're kind of like, we're trying to put 2 and 2 together here. Like, because this is one of the weird situations where without the spoiler log, we don't know, but the runners know, and their pilots know where they need to go. So we're just kind of trying to figure out, why are they doing this move? And I feel like, yeah, DoctorBobtastic going and getting that Cane of Burna kind of triggered in my head that I was like, oh, that's probably why. Yeah. There's probably something of value in Spike Cave.
Yep. And again, props to both these pilots for being able to read this dang spoiler log. Good lord, I am still confused over it.
Yeah, and yeah, Frostbite was just wanting to go get that big key and probably head up the TR here. DoctorBobtastic can be, looks like setting up for a hair pot and just trying to get it right. Not quite yet.
Yep.
He's gonna use the hook shots. Yeah, he's trying to hook shot set up here. He's gonna reset.
And this is why I have to say I really appreciate my pilot for my run, routing in Hera Big Key, because she knew I would screw up for during this trick. Shoutouts to Tabby Cat.
Yeah, Frostbite will be heading over to go into Turtle Rock here at some point. Making the trip to the Dark World first. Maybe picking up something in Super Bunny that we kind of speculated that there might have been something in Super Bunny Cave. Yeah, Bob's gonna go ahead and I'm sure Unknown's just been like, hey, if you can't get it now, we'll come back here later. Just don't worry about it. Go ahead and go get that Cane of Samaria and go back up the Turtle Rock. And that's part of the thing with the pilot too. Is having that second voice is. Some ways I feel like it could be a little bit, like having a coach, just having someone there who's like, hey, if this isn't working, let's just go ahead and skip this. We'll come back and get it later. Let me get you on the right path again, because it's really easy when you're doing this by yourself to tilt yourself like straight off the face of the earth.
I concur.
Frostbite, going ahead and pick up that Can of Burning now. Might be important. We might need it for Laser Bridge if there's an item on there that we need.
No, or another convenience.
Right. It would make it a lot easier to go through Laser Bridge with the Can of Burning rather than trying to do it through some of the other various methods that we have. Especially since we don't have Mirror Shield.
Let's see, where is the thingy? Where are you, thingy? Ah, here we go. Alright. So I see why Frostbite skipped over the mushroom at least. Spoiler.
Well, don't be spoiling that for everybody. Just because you go spoilers. I'm kidding. Teasing. There's another key to the Dark Palace, so that will be helpful for Frostbite to have here. And Bob's going to be heading in as well with that Cane of Samaria. So looking at the scorecard right now, Frostbite does have a pretty decent lead, having Tower of Hera and Ice Palace already completed. So kind of a 3-1 dungeon lead here. They're in the same dungeon, so you really got to be thinking almost kind of, if you're DoctorBobtastic and unknown availability, what routing decisions are we going to make to kind of help close the gap a little bit here?
That's true. It's like if there's nothing. Well, actually, no. We already saw it. There wasn't anything on Trolldorm that we needed to complete it. If it's just a go mode dungeon at this point, then Dr. Bob can go ahead and just save it until he's ready. I mean, he can literally make that the last dungeon he goes to before GT, and that would save him some time, especially if he's able to get the big key routed in somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, we do have, looks like both our pilots are in our chat here, and Unknown's talking a little bit about the Herapot and figuring out, they're saying that the hookshot Herapot, the hook speed Herapot, which is the one where you use the little stairs to get hook speed, and then you kind of move yourself into position through that, is the way to do it. And they just watched someone else do it once with no explanation and figured it out from there. So it can be kind of difficult sometimes to set up. I feel like probably that just based on my knowledge of using the bomb versus using the hook speed, if you can set it up with hook speed, it's probably is a lot easier to execute. Because go ahead.
My takeaway from that is that Megawatt's just a genius and likes to flex his 200 IQ.
Probably. Hey,
we
got people that.
Freudian. That was unknown availability, not Megawatt.
Well, I'm sure Megawatt is pleased with that comparison as well. But hook speed. For those who don't know what hook speed is, if you hit the dash button and the item button while having the hook shot in there on the stairs or ladder at the same time, it will grant you basically the full dash speed without having to do the dash animation. It's a very nice way to travel very fast. And it's a lot easier to execute than using the sword speed. because it's simultaneous when you do it with the hook shot and the sword. There's a 1-frame buffer that you have to have a difference there to get it to work.
That's why I like the boot setup for me. I practiced it enough that I can get it almost every time.
Mhm.
It's weird. I'll either get it first try every time, or I'll fail it and not be able to reproduce it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Frostbite going ahead, finishing out bottom half there. We did find Mimic Cave had the Quake, so both runners picking that up, now getting access in the mire. But yeah, we just saw a complete skip of the laser bridge there, so I think Frostbite and Megawatt looking over it and saying there's nothing there. We'll see Dr. Bob and Unknown do the same. If they do, we can certainly say it's a bunch of junk that we don't have to worry about.
Yep, verified. Frostbite did pick up that Quake, so we're good there. It is intriguing to see, though, that we're in bow mode for items. Just gotta hunt for our remaining keys afterwards, and then we're kosher.
So here's where it could be interesting. And hear me out here, Scruff. What if bow is in one of the dungeons here, but mushroom is a second bow, and it's silvers?
Oh,
Now
that would be awesome.
Yes. In
Nope,
fact,
never mind.
hey, there's the bow right there.
Okay, I still like your idea that mushroom could be the second bow. Which would explain why Frostbite didn't pick it up, because he knew that he was going to get the bow off of Trinix. And he's like, I
Right.
got tempered. Don't need
Right.
silvers.
I think maybe, obviously if you've got your pilot in here, able to watch the race and give feedback on where the other guy is and what the score is, and you feel like, hey, you're ahead, then yeah, you probably thinking, I don't really need that.
Wherein I'm the opposite. If I've got time, I will get that silver because I am a terrible, terrible player of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Just a refill on the potion for Frostbite. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to do the Misery Mire Desert double play. Very nice. Oh, wait, hold on. Other than the GT Big Key, we are pretty much in go mode. Where is it?
So chat, you can go ahead and guess between 1 and 216 where the big key. I'm kidding. No, don't do that. Please don't.
No.
We're not playing that game.
Although this is making me wonder, Frostbite just got a Misery Mire small key. I'm wondering if that's just for his convenience in routing, or if there is something that's actually locked somewhere here.
I don't know. Will be very interesting to see where he heads going into Mire here, as far as what decision is he going to make. And I think DoctorBobtastic may be heading back to Hera here, or not. Got popping the flute out here, and if so, maybe it's a decision to go to Mire as well.
Yeah, I think that's the better one.
And we'll see if that going to 4.
Oh, that's right. We have the Misery Mire Big Key and Ice Palace, so he needs to do that first.
Right. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly where he's going. He's going down to. No, he's gonna go in the shop here. What's he gonna get? Bombs. Okay, he's gonna buy some bombs.
Nice.
It's not bad.
Oh, no, he's...
Yeah, and I think he's gonna go back and go into Ice Palace here. After all, there's the silvers, by the way. They were in Mire.
Yee!
That is very nice for Frostbite.
That is super convenient. Okay, and he's just going straight back to the boss. Okay. So, I'm still confused. Where is this GT Big Key? Maybe we're gonna have another awesome spoiler key sanity where GT Big Key is in the tower.
But we know there's one place it cannot be, which is in the big chest inside of GT.
Oh, come on, Seed. Please be nice. I really want to play the GT Big Key guessing game.
Because that would break the logic so bad that we'd have to actually redo the race. Yep. And Dr. Bob coming in here with the key in Samaria. We'll see if we get Icebreaker out of this. Yes, we're gonna see it. So this will save. This might save Dr. Bobtastic a little bit of time, because that big key, if I remember right, that big key of the mire is on the way. If you do Icebreaker here, the way you go down, it's in that chest that you hook shot across. So this should save Dr. Bobtastic some time and hassle, because he should be able to immediately go get that big key and then just go down to Gold Stair.
Ah, that is one of my favorite new tricks. I absolutely love it.
Indeed. Yeah, Icebreaker and Diver Down, which are kind of like, they're basically sibling glitches. They operate differently, but depending on how you set them up somewhat similarly with the key in the Samaria, but they operate somewhat differently, but they're still really cool to see.
Yeah, I gotta give props to people that are able to do the Diver Down. For some reason, I can't do that one. It's like something with the way you jump back in that just I still mess up.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Can't blame you for having some trouble with that stuff. It's not necessarily an easy one to do. It's not as kind of easy as Icebreaker here. And indeed, we're seeing Dr. Bobtastic just go straight to Cold Stair. So smart play, getting the one thing that needed to be got out of Ice Palace. Frostbite looks like heading back over the pod.
And going to be dropping down to that wonderful Cold Stair with Tempered, Red Mail, and Fire Rod. So this is going to be super quick.
And yeah, this is like these divisions that we've got here in this league, just to really kind of go. I saw Unknown Availability mention something in the chat, and I kind of wanted to expand upon that. There are a ton of good runners in this league, and Randomizer is really like half skill, half luck, and half of it that you can control really is the skill part, and the skill part between these divisions is fairly evenly matched. There's a lot of really good teams, a lot of really good runners, and a lot of people that, if you've been watching Rando for a while, you know the names, people from commentary or from running or from doing really well in the tournaments or from tracking or however they're involved in the community. But yeah, just that luck part, sometimes things just don't go your way, and you can be the best team. You could have like the top 3 people on a team from the last tournament and still end up like at 5-5 at this point, just because of the way that things go. Sometimes you have a bad fall, you have an accidental death, you make one decision that's wrong and it sets you back 5 minutes in a seed. So yeah, it's skill plays a part in it, and there's also, especially a lot of times before these last 2 weeks here, we're going to have the co-pilots, and we're going to have next week we're going to have co-op. You're on your own. You're just trying to do the best you can. And, you do all you can, and you just try and hope that you make the best decisions.
Exactly. Also, I'd like to point out that I just now got the invitation to join the booth. So yay, I can commentate now.
Awesome.
I'll be there in a sec.
I also just received the stream is live message. So hi. Apparently we've not been live for the past 57. No, I'm kidding. We've been live. Bot's a little slow sometimes, but it's okay.
We're gonna have to restart. Shoot.
Yeah. Everybody forget what you know for the first 57. We'll just start over again. We'll mind wipe everybody. Where's our neuralizers at? But yeah, there's Helmasaur King straight to the back for Frostbite, going to pick up another crystal.
All right, and that's going to be second to last. All we've got now is Skull Woods. So we're down to either somewhere in the overworld, somewhere in Skull Woods, or somewhere in GT. One of those, we're going to have our GT Big Key, and I'm hoping it's GT.
Yeah, it looks like Dr. Bob is just getting that small key there. I think probably going to go ahead and flip the switch here to get the silvers and then head to the back. Good play. It is a good play here. And yeah, you know, if your co-pilot is watching, and of course they both are, you're going to know that your opponent has silvers already, and you don't want to, obviously, you know, if you feel like you're behind, you don't want to go ahead and just be like, I'm going to handicap myself and save 30 seconds by not getting silvers, because you're going to lose that over time.
Oh yeah, you'll lose that alone on the Vitreous fight, and then not to mention Ganon.
Yeah. You know, Frostbite now into Skull Woods. Picking up a big key here to... There's the GTB key.
Yee! Well, I mean, I'm kind of sad now because I don't get to play the guessing game, but...
Alright. I don't know what chest number it is. Let's just say let's just say it was 82. So congratulations if you guessed 82.
Okay, actually, we'll play that. It won't be for any points, so none of you get all uppity about this. So no imaginary points are at stake here. But throw in a guess between 1 and 216 as to which chest that was. I'm gonna give you a handicap and say it's gonna be higher than 40 at the very least.
Or yeah, as for like the saying key sanity and what we call calm key sanity game modes, that is a number 0 when it is not in the tower itself.
Exactly. We'll just go off of Frostfighter Dr. Bob's end result screen telling us how many chests they got. I'm fairly certain that's pretty much going to be their last item, aside from the ones off the bosses. So let's see. For Frostbite, it would be -1, because he's going to get the item off of Mothula. Ooh, Bob taking the death. Did he pick up the fairy?
Yeah,
he did.
Yep, he didn't have that fairy that Frostbite used earlier in like he's got a couple. He's got a bunch of potions too, so he should be okay.
Yeah, those freaking eyeballs hurt, dude.
All right, well, Scruff, I will leave you in charge of making sure the count back from what the total is for Frostbite here. So.
Got it. So we're looking at -1 right now. So I'm keep an eye and see how many other things he gets. Megawatt, you better tell Frostbite not to open up any other chests. If he does, I'll be very upset.
He's probably gonna open up. He's gonna open up every chest now.
He's gonna full clear GT just to spite me.
Just to spite you. Yeah, that's the last crystal. So Frostbite heading on up to GT itself.
Yeah, this has actually been a pretty decent seed for the most part. Routing hasn't been too bad. We've only seen, 2 required double dips?
Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, DoctorBobtastic at this point looks like heading over to Skullwoods. Still has to finish out Pod and Tower of Hera, which I would guess will be in their routing, will probably be the last one. Just because, obviously, you're there. So, go ahead, mirror, and then come back.
I am thinking Bob should be able to go ahead and get up to GT. I'd say in about 15 minutes or here.
Yeah, I think so.
He can take care of Mothula, Halmasaur, and Moldarm pretty dang quick.
Yep. Is he gonna get that?
I'm just wondering if he's gonna get that Hera big key or not.
Oh, I don't think. I think he's gonna try heroic try to unless it's along the way, I'll probably try to go with the Hera pot one more time. If it's the last dungeon, you may as well just try and do it,
Very true. Very true.
Yep, Frostbite hopping on in here. Now, here's a potential issue for Frostbite. Only got 1 key right now, so you got to be wondering if Megawatt's telling him where that second key might be, or if there's going to be a bit more digging here. Is he telling him to go up? So he's going to go straight up. There must be more small keys for Ganon's tower further up here. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I was hoping chat would just be really quiet about that. Yeah, there's a nifty thing that I learned where in Sanity, you don't actually have to worry about getting any small keys in GT because
I always forget about that mini Helmo key because it's like half the time I've got 2 keys when I'm going up there anyway, so I almost never have to go get it.
Exactly.
So, it's one of those things like you're trying to think like for a moment, you're like, oh shoot, yeah, Chad is right about that, and I know that. I just,
it's one of those brain fart moments. Yeah. You're like, wait a second.
It's it's very much a thing, and a lot of people are wondering why is there no in-game music? Why aren't we hearing that right now from our runners? It's because our pilots are on the stream with their runners, so obviously we would be hearing not only our commentator talk, but we did have a little bit of a glitch earlier where we were able to hear Frostbite and Megawatt talking. So yeah, it'd be like that, but for the whole match. And obviously we don't want to have to spend we don't want to have to talk over everybody else and have it all get mixed up. So we're not getting to hear their wonderful co-coms here. Or the in-game music, just, pick that. They're probably commentating too.
Although that would be pretty funny. Trying to time it just right so you can talk in between them.
Yep. Just have like a mandatory 30-second break. Every once in a while, just be like, station identification. As Frostbite gets through the most satisfying rooms in the game, 1 and 2, very quickly makes the way over to the torch room here. Gonna be pretty simple and pretty easy to do. Gonna head up those stairs and light these torches, and then go into the Nihon is an idiot and forgot that many Helmosaurs also have a key room.
If there are maps in Mini Helmosaur room and Frostbite picks them up, I will be very excited.
Picked up a shield. He picked up 2 shields.
Ooh! Alright, so that's -3 at least, but that was worth it. Double shields are awesome.
I don't think that's a bad play at all, It's a little bit of extra protection for yourself. Why not? You can powder the Bunny Beam and the Anti-Fairy.
And you do it for the memes. Very quick Moldarm fight here with just a poke and a spin.
Very nice, very clean there from Frostbite. Gonna go to the last chest and skip it, as he should. You just want to finish this out, and especially if there's nothing good in there, why open it up? Just save yourself the frames. Go ahead and head on over to the stairs and climb on up to Aga 2. Time for some geometry here. What are we gonna get?
Oop, looks like a double.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The dream is dead. There's another double. 2-2.
And to kind of point out what Chad's been talking about, asking where that butter sword is, probably won't be seeing it because A, it's in the Tower of Hera big chest, and B, it looks like the Tower of Hera big key is in hammer pegs, so we're probably not going to see either of those.
Indeed. Yep, and 2202 there from Frostbite, just a little bit of a difference off from being a Rush album. There's so many good combinations of patterns.
I like it.
And we're on to Ganon, who's got Landslug packs for us tonight.
Let's see if Frostbite can get the 1 cycle phase 1. Ooh, he doesn't. That's alright, I get to tease him later.
Good news is he's pretty close. He's got silver, so this should be a fairly quick fight. Obviously, got the Can't burn it here. And the half magic's going to help out. Meanwhile, DoctorBobtastic making the play into Helmasaur.
Taking out our big old Dino Kitty. Goodness gracious, that Tempered Sword just melts everything.
It's getting the warps a little bit there, but we're all set. On to the last phase. Oh no, suffer by my true weakness.
Oh no!
The torch is going to set up for at least a double and one more to finish it off.
And as long as it doesn't fall off the most perilous bridge in the Hyrule history, he'll win this wonderful game between Beard Force 1 and Phendrana Drifters.
Indeed, and that will put Phendrana Drifters, who are already in the playoffs, at least for the moment. They'll put them into first place in the Pyramid of Power division. Get those GGs in chat for Frostbite3030 and its co-pilot, Megawatt. Success! Yes, indeed. Moving on to 10-1 in league play here. Looking pretty good.
Excellent job right there. Being able to go and secure 10 wins so far for the season.
Absolutely.
And for all those that aren't counting, that means 30 points. Yay.
Yes, indeed. So, Scruff, do you know how many teams? I forget how many teams from each division are getting into the playoffs here.
I believe it's just 3. 3 teams.
It's 3. So yeah. So yeah, I think unfortunately that's gonna. It was looking like it was pretty much a win-out situation for Beard Force 1. I think unfortunately at 4 and 7. I think that's with only 3 games left. I think that that probably is the end of their playoff aspirations. But still, obviously, you want to finish out the season strong here. You got a couple more matches. Might as well go for it. And even if you can't make the playoffs, play a spoiler.
Exactly.
There's still a lot to play for all of these teams.
We've been invaded.
Oh no, it's Frostbite. GG, how you doing, friend?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing really good. Yeah, that was really, really efficient routing there. In fact, we got to hear a bit of it, unfortunately, at the start.
I tried.
But it's okay.
I tried to warn them.
It's okay.
I tried to figure out the audio thing this afternoon, but as I always say, I'm an old man and I'm dumb at computers, and I couldn't get it sorted out.
You're fine.
Megawatt and I were chatting about it. We had a little bit of an issue where he had forgotten that Swamp dependent, and we were intending on getting a pod key out of Swamp, or the TR key or something out of Swamp, that then eventually we realized, oh wait, this is really inefficient. But then I feel like Megawatt did a great job at navigating the nonsense with Spike Cave and Pod Multiple and the TR shenanigans. Because if you did this legit, right, you had to go into TR to go get, the Meyer Big Key out of Mimic Cave, to go get the bow out of Meyer, to go get TR keys out of Pod. It was just a absolute sort of nonsense. The Moon Pearl was a really funny location, we thought, and it went pretty well. I mean, it wasn't our cleanest route. We've been putting up some really good practice times in some of these seeds. Megawatt's really, really good at reading the spoiler log in a way that if I was doing this, we would be much further behind than we ended up being, and it went pretty freely. I had, we made a couple of decisions to get some safeties that maybe we could have skipped, but it just makes sort of my playing so much freer when you're on 8 hearts in blue mail than when you're on 5 hearts in green mail, where basically every single mistake that you make can result in your death, frankly, at points in the game. And I felt I played pretty well, and after you sort of got through the shenanigans with the bows, the seed wasn't that bad, I guess, as it could have been.
Yep. Yeah. absolutely was the case. We saw some really good routing at the start. Was that early boots play into Desert Palace? Was that something that you and Megawatt kind of factored in, getting those boots early to get a little bit quicker movement around the maps?
I mean, it's actually something we don't like. It's obviously something you look at, right? But we decided that we weren't going to necessarily YOLO hard the boots unless it made sense. And in this case, because everything else was in, the hook shot was there and the lamp was there, it just absolutely made the most sense to go in there when it was. But like, I didn't even know the boots were in there. Megawatt just tells me where to go, and I kind of get surprised by what I find sometimes. So,
so that's a very interesting dynamic.
Really,
yeah.
Really, what it was I was like, so I found it was either the hammer or the moon pearl in Paradox Cave, and so I was tracing backwards from there. Like, okay, we got to go to desert to get the hook shot, and like, oh, hey, boots are here too. And then there's also the lamp and a castle tower small key, and we need all of those things. Well, except we didn't really need the lamp, but it was nice to have since it was right there. So I obviously had to find the Desert Palace small key, but that was like locked away behind some other really long, dumb sequence.
No, it was the Desert
Palace. No, it was
in
it was in Paradox Cave
yeah.
with the hammer.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we're just gonna steal the small key and come back later and just get all this stuff now, get our boots, which is gonna be a nice early advantage. And yeah, that worked out pretty well for us. That was one of the parts that I'm a bit more proud of, a bit less proud of the whole swamp situation. But
my favorite thing of this siege, besides the two shields in Mini Helmasaur Room, was the flute in Link's house, because our strategy is to start at Sanctuary and go to CAC, and it's just really funny that the one thing you kind of want to duck in Link's house ended up being in Link's house. So I thought that was particularly amusing. But no, our opening was always basically start at Sank, I'll check that chest, and then sort of aim for the bush crab area, assuming we'll get resources there, and then go to CAC. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, the flute's in Link's house. And I was like, of course it is. But yeah, it was a fun seed. I didn't know if I would like these. I think I like these a lot more from a runner's perspective. I don't think I'd be having much fun from a pilot's perspective with my clanky fingers on the keyboard and not searching. Although I guess the only spoiler races I've done have been the ones where I'm running and searching the spoiler logs at the same time, and I stink at that. So maybe it'd be a little bit different than this. But no, Megawatt's done a really good job in our practice runs with both myself and Jet being the runners with him piloting, and I'm really happy that he's so good at this. So. Yeah. He'll make fun of himself for the swamp derp, but it wasn't ended up being that bad. I mean, the other thing I like is like he'll tell me, like, I don't know if you noticed, but I went the wrong way in Eastern Palace because I forgot which one was the map chest and which one was the compass chest. And he's like, oh yeah, Frost, by the way, you gotta go the other way. So that is kind of a fun aspect with him, not only like directing me, but being able to see what I'm doing, so he can actually make like on the fly adjustments that really are helpful, because I'm not the best at remembering which chest is which chest in which dungeon. So.
Oh, got a little bit of a spoiler here. Bob is going to do the honors of checking the last chest for us, so we're you're going to get to see after all what's in there.
Finally.
Of course, you guys already know, but yeah, chat doesn't know yet. So
we figured the shields were better.
That was funny.
Yeah, the moment I saw the two shields in Mini Helmasaur Room, I'm like, Frostbite, we've gotta get those shields.
yeah.
I'm like, Frostbite, do you want a fire shield? And he's like, no. But then what if I told you where they were? And then he was like, oh yeah, we got those.
They're on the way. Might as well.
Yeah,
it was a triple bomb. So
okay, yeah.
yes,
Validation bombs.
This seed was it was kind of friendly. Like the bush crab had bombs. And then I got a free half magic drop off, or not half magic, a full magic pot off, I think it was a crab, as I was going to get whatever was in Ice Rod Cave. And then the absolute most clutchest thing in the game was when I got that bomb drop from the Bari in Ice Palace, when I had literally 0 bombs heading into the Ice Palace bomb jump, and I was going to have to mirror out. And I was like, I'm just going to kill a few of these enemies and see what they drop. First one dropped a bomb, and I hit it first time. I was so happy that didn't end up costing us, because I don't know what it is, because you're skipping so many chests, right? When you play normally, you take it for granted that you're going to have things like bombs and rupees, right? But when you're skipping everything in this mode, it's really easy to run low on bombs in certain places and low on magic when it almost never happens in a regular run, right? So
Yeah, that's you don't normally have a situation where you're running low on bombs in any case, just because you're opening enough chests where you're always picking up a triple pack or you're picking up a 10 somewhere or something like that. But yeah, that's one of the things to keep in mind. Really, with this game mode, is that you're checking a lot fewer things. Only 75 items, as Bob is on Ganon here. So Bob also finishing things up pretty quickly afterward. There's not much of a gap here between you two, all things considered.
Yeah, no, you're right though. It's definitely something we had an issue in one of our practice seeds where we tried to go into Mire without any magic, but it was like 25 minutes into the seed and I still didn't have any magic, because of, like, if it wasn't Key Sanity, most of the time you go into a dungeon, you're going to be clearing it. But with Key Sanity, you end up not getting that boss refill that you end up sort of running into fairly often in a normal spoiler log mode seed. But yeah, it's been fun playing these. I honestly didn't feel I would enjoy it as much as I have. I mean, it's always fun playing co-op, right? Like, it's always fun playing with people and just having, the social aspect of it, which is sort of enhanced in this week, even though the league is fairly social and we've been practicing a bunch as a team and whatnot. But no, it's been really fun. And yeah, like I said, I just wish I wasn't such a slow reader and bad searcher, so I could maybe try it on the other end. But like, I'd still be looking for, like, okay, where was the GT Big Key again? Like, it would just be hilarious. So
yeah. Bob unfortunately taking a death there, but hopping right back down to Ganon. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to grab his blue potions.
Oh yeah,
he's got them now, so he's good. But one of the things that Scruff and I were talking about real quick here is having that pilot. It's a little bit different of a game mode feel. It kind of almost. I mentioned this. It's almost kind of like having a coach there, and if you need someone to if you're going to get on, if you're in a situation where you feel like I'm going to get on tilt, having someone there just to kind of talk you through it and maybe get you off that ledge where, previously you might have just tilted yourself off the face of the earth looking for something.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm pretty tilt proof. Like, I don't, even when I get really angry at the game, I don't feel like it really necessarily makes me play worse. That being said, it's inevitable that it will hurt you to some extent. But that's one of my strengths, I feel, is that I guess partly because I've played a gajillion different seeds and races, I feel like I've just made every single mistake and died at every single spot that you don't want to die at. So like, it's got less of an impact. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I died in a bad spot or something, I'll get angry. But that's one of my strengths, I feel, is remaining fairly calm. I mean, strength, lack of emotional depth. You can call it whatever you want. My psychiatrist might say something differently, but it helps me out in this case.
Yep, and yeah, we're gonna get those GGs in chat. There's DoctorBobtastic just finishing up the Ganon fight. GG's. Hopefully, we'll get Bob and Unknown in here in just a moment. I think just pulling them in real quick here. Hello, DoctorBobtastic. Hello, friend. How are you? GGs, guys.
Well, that was a thing.
It was a thing.
I consider my skill level to be roughly 12 minutes off of competent runners, so that's about where I was going. Yeah.
So how about them bows? Did you guys enjoy those bows?
What bows? There weren't any bows in the seed. I was talking about.
That's what it felt like, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And Scruff did a wonderful job of counting back the chests and determining that tonight's GT Big Key number was 72.
I mean, I got mine real late. Because.
Yeah, it was same for us. It was like I got it as the last. Real item I picked up.
"Quote-unquote" Go mode item, although Go mode doesn't really exist in this kind of format.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember looking at the that's exactly what it was. Y'all got that. Y'all killed the boss, and then y'all checked the last two in Mini Helmasaur room just to show off the two shields. Which weird flex, but okay. Weird.
I just thought it was funny, so I'm like, Frostbite, you gotta open those two chests. How often are there two shields side by side? Chat must know.
And I don't mind those sort of flexes when you can, when at least you know the pilot can see how the race is going. So it's just like, yeah, we're ahead. There's not really a problem here. Go ahead, do it.
Oh yeah, I would. If you and I were both peeling through that room at the same time, there's not a chance in heck I would have been against them. But he said he got a bit of a lead, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah. To be fair, anytime you had a close race like that, I would love to be able just to hear like all the comms and just hear people, like, because obviously you guys are watching the restream as well. So like just to hear them screaming, "Oh my God, he's on you! He's on you! He's on you! Go 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 go!"
Yeah. I remember somebody, I don't know who it was, I want to say Ack because it sounds like something he would do. I think it might have been in a Swiss race when he had already qualified in the previous tournament. I think he ended up losing one of his matches because he bombosed the validation chest. It might not have been him, but it was someone, and I really thought it was funny.
Weird flex,
So
but
anybody,
okay, yes.
Anybody want my spot in the upcoming spoiler tournament?
I didn't sign up for the spoiler tournament because I said before you got here, Dr. Bob, I don't mind being the runner for these seeds. I'm really not good at looking through the logs though, and
okay.
really happy that Megawatt was willing to do it for both myself and Jet this week because, man, I stink at it. I tried, and I'm slow. I'm old. I don't do computers well. I'm not good at doing Control F. I forget everything.
Hey, so do I. I forget everything too. There's sometimes that I'll
Ask
send...
me, how many times did I ask you where the cane was this seed?
like 6?
Yeah, it was
It's
a
like-
few.
Spike Cave, and there was one time I was like, wait, where did I tell you Spike Kane was? He's like, Spike Cave. I was like, cool. And then like 5 seconds later, he's like, wait, where was Kane?
So, you guys went for the Ice Palace play so that you could get that bottle and get the cane. And my brain was just so fixated on, I don't want to go to Ice Palace without the cane. How else am I going to do the freaking icebreaker clip?
Icebreaker, exactly. Well, there was some other things that kind of went into that Ice Palace play as well, and it not
You
being
can get a pod key in there.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and Megawatt had kind of sent me to Swamp, and then realized it was a pendant. We didn't really need anything there. And he was like, "I just go to Ice," and then I was like, as I'm going, we had other issues in there. I ran out of bombs, got an insanely lucky bomb drop off an enemy to let me actually complete the dungeon. But yeah, I feel like because we had a small key that we'd gotten somewhere else, I'm not, like, I think Icebreaker always saves time, but because all I had to do was go in to get what I think it was the Meyer Big Key or something like that in the Spike room, not having to go all the way back up there, it didn't feel that bad. But yeah, it's always nice to show off the new tech, especially when I was practicing it before the run.
It's like...
I was practicing Harapop before the run, and I apparently choked.
Man.
Yeah, So the first 2 times I was apparently in a weird state. It wasn't quite the same weird state where you get knocked clear down, but I was getting knocked somewhat down. So I was like, oh, okay, let me mirror try it again. And then the last time, I only had 1 bomb left, and I couldn't get on the right Y pixel.
And the bad part was, too, is that whenever he missed the last one, the Dongo dropped a bomb that he didn't pick up because he's like, I can get it this time. And unfortunately, yeah. And then,
how am I going to pick it up? I ain't got a boomerang.
Oh, well, your hook shot would have grabbed it. It was on that lip. You could have grabbed it with a hook shot. But
was it? I didn't think it was. Anyway.
As a taunt, though, of course, the Dodongo drops 8 bombs for when you first.
Yes.
So,
That's funny. Yeah, I had some issues with the hammer yump in this seed for some reason. I was having some real 1 pixel movement problems. I don't know. I use it.
We didn't actually do the hammer yump because there were just enough pod keys along the way that I just kind of went, yeah, I'll just go in the top door. That way I don't have to go all the way through the dark maze.
Yeah.
And then just get out.
Yeah, the pod keys were relatively well laid out as far as where we were going. And honestly, if for whatever reason we needed to skip a different sword or something like that and not do Harapot, the Hera Big Key was in a really easy location. It was right next to where you needed to get Hammer anyway in hammer peg, so it wasn't that bad. Which we never actually picked up because you dropped off the. I realized you dropped off the blacksmith and then ended up going right past that because you just noped out after that.
I noped out right after the blacksmith.
So, but
I forgot what the blacksmith was.
That was the green potion to be able to do the potion.
Ah, yeah, so I could do potion glitch. Yeah.
So we could save some time on having to flute
because
over to...
doing the actual the logic Turtle Rock keys would have required going into Swamp and beating Argus, and I'm like, how about no?
You know, we almost did that for other reasons. But...
By complete mistake.
Yeah, it was. Well, that was funny because it ended up leading to the powder that I probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And powder is low-key a great item in these spoiler seeds where you're on low resources, right? So that made me very happy.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't actually pick up the powder. I did pick up the mushroom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that I could fake powder if necessary, but.
I think that was in Hookshot Cave or something like that.
Yeah,
I remember
it was right next to the Cane of Burna, which I was getting to go do Spike Cave.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to be able to do Spike Cave with my health because I didn't have any of the I didn't have Burna, I didn't have Cape, but I did have the fairy in the bottle, and
the fairy will get you
iframes are so
far.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. I think you guys ended up with more hearts than us. Like, I think I had only 6 hearts by the end of it.
I think I'm on 8. I went out of my way to get the one in King's Tomb.
Oh, okay.
That was probably one. After Aga.
With the pod, small, and bonk rocks, and then straight over to get the mitts from Agate from a lumberjack tree. So we went ahead and went for that.
Yeah.
And then there was the. But I went out of the way for red mail, so.
Yeah. I don't remember where red mail was, but it was something we thought about, and if I hadn't just got blue mail, I definitely would have gone for the other one.
It was Room and Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Eastern, that's right, yeah.
I was about to say, I figured that was the one y'all skipped, because I figured y'all went to Hype Cave to get that bottle, and then fluted to go get the potion, and got the mail in Hype Cave.
The Ice Palace small key was also in there, and that helped.
Yeah.
Sure.
That made Spike Room a lot easier to access without the cane.
Yeah, Ice Palace, or rather, Hype Cave was actually really useful this time around. Like, it had pretty much everything in it was usable.
So yeah, it was
like
funny.
Full Heart, Ice Palace small key, like one of the actual important keys, some other a bunch of stuff.
So a boss heart container, a bottle with a B, Ice Palace small key, an armor, and then a key to Skull Woods, which was also very useful to be able to grab the GT big key super fast.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, none of it was like technically required, but all 5 of the items were very useful, which is an interesting sort of dichotomy.
Exactly.
Although I told Megawatt the blue mail was 100% required, so.
I tried to convince Bob not to get the red mail.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not that far away. It's just go one way, go the other, and then exit. I was like, all right, dude.
And as you can see, I mean, I died on Ganon because I'm bad. So.
Well, to be fair, I guess I'm a meaner pilot than Megawatt. I only gave him 6 hearts.
But the fantasy points.
All the fantasy. Gotta be thinking about the fantasy points.
I really don't.
I honestly forgot. I'm in a fantasy league, and I don't
have myself.
Yeah, exactly,
I do.
Exactly.
I do. I have Bob on my team.
I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not in any of the leagues that existed because I didn't know they existed. And also, I definitely wouldn't have drafted myself. So, no way. I'm bad.
Oh, well, I didn't draft myself either.
It's funny. I didn't draft myself I didn't want to draft anyone from my team, or I tried to avoid getting... Like, I'm going to be cheering for Jet and Megawatt. I don't want to be mad at them because they ruined my fantasy team as well, right? But
well, here's the funny part. Guess who I did draft? I drafted Jet. Jet is on my draft team. So, here's to ruining my fantasy numbers.
Exactly.
So I wasn't particularly worried about the outcome here because it was a good. I mean, this feels fairly fairly decent for me. I'm not the world's greatest runner, and I get that. But also, right before this, I found out that, according to the math, there's literally no way our team makes the playoffs, so I'm okay with it.
Right. You guys really just get to play spoiler now for everybody else. So.
If the Titans mids had lost their match, then we would have still been technically in contention if we won out and they lost out. But now, if we had won out and they lost out, they would have gotten to 8-6. We would have gotten to 8-6, and they hold the tiebreaker because they beat us. Now, that being said, we lost here, so now it's completely out of the question. So, not even worried about it. So we were basically out anyway. So I'm not a huge deal. But we are not just gonna give it to Broken Triforce next week.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they'd ask you for that either. They want you to bring it. So.
And that's who you guys play next week is Broken Triforce?
Yep,
that's correct.
Oh, that's
our last 2 weeks were against two of the toughest teams in our division, hands down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which honestly, that's fun. I appreciate that. I like being the Miami Dolphins going into the last 2 weeks and being like, whose chances can we ruin today? The Patriots? Let's do it. So, sports reference. Sorry.
If we were the Miami Dolphins, we'd be tanking on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was super fun. I got to get running, guys. I got to eat dinner and do a few other things. I was like halfway. I forgot for some reason. I thought this was at 8 and it was at 7. So it's like I didn't miss it. But my dinner is literally sitting next to me on my desk here, like 1/4 eaten. So I got to step out.
Yeah.
Again, GG's Dr. Bob, awesome run. Again, like I always say, one of my favorite people in the community and one of the people that was doing a lot of the comms back when I started watching and really got me into the game. And GG's unknown. And good luck next match against Jet and the rest of the tournament, guys.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to go ahead and make sure we can wrap this up because we got another randomizer, different game randomizer tournament, Chrysalis randomizer coming on here. So I don't want to bleed into them too much here. But yeah, GG's all around, everybody. Make sure to follow Dr. Bob and Frostbite. And for that matter, go ahead and follow Megawatt Unknown Availability as well. All of them really good runners, and they really do a lot of restreaming. So, they do a lot of really good jobs. And obviously, DoctorBobtastic and Frostbite, both also fellow comms. So, always good to get to commentate some of theirs as well.
All right.
And of
Thanks
course,
a lot, everybody.
Not a problem.
And I'll see you later.
See you later, Dr. Bob. Yeah, of course, thanks to Reg for doing all the tracking tonight. Couldn't have done it without him. Scruff, it was good working with you as always. Just want to give everybody a heads up that this is not the last match of the night. We got 2 more matches that are going to be restreamed tonight at 9:30 Eastern over on ALTTPR, the ALTTPR League. The Immortals Jewel Ninja with Roach piloting will take on Third Strongest Bull's Drunk Future Self with Virtua Cat piloting. And at 10 o'clock, we got the Long Shots Arusta being piloted by Diesel Martini against the Wu-Tang Clan's Old Ducky B, a.k.a. good old friend Apathy Duck, with Solsky doing the piloting duty there. And that'll be on Speed Gaming. Of course, as I just mentioned here, Speed Gaming 2 Chrysalis Randomizer coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern, so right after us. If you want to watch that, if you want to watch more Rando, it'll be obviously 9:30 Eastern and 10 o'clock Eastern on those respective channels. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up and let's say anything else, Scruff, that you wanted to say before we head out.
Nope, I'm good.
All right, well, that'll be it for tonight. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Boy, that was a long interview. That interview almost lasted longer in the race. We all just kept kind of going, having a good time. But yeah, for Scruff, for Reg, for all of our runners, pilots, and for everyone here on the Speed Gaming team, everyone here in ALTTP, our league, I'm Behind Tiger. Remember, someone out there loves you. We love you too. Take care of yourselves, one and all, and we will see you here next time. Have a good night.
Toodles.